Tabor, a place where everyone goes for medieval history, good food, and sightseeing. But did you know that Tabor is a perfect place to survive the apocalypse?
Hi guys, my name is Valerie and I'm a real Prague guide. But today we're not in Prague, we are in Tabor.
Tabor might look like an ordinary historical town in the Czech Republic, with beautiful Renaissance houses, small square with a typical tall church tower and a town hall, but that is just on the surface.
This town was made to survive nothing less than the end of the world, and today I'm gonna show you how come. But first, let's talk about Tabor's history. Let's travel back in time to February 1420, more than 4 years after the death of spiritual leader of Hussites, Jan Hus, and around 7 months after the first Prague defenestration. Hussites are persecuted by the Catholic Church. They're chased into forests by hunting dogs, they're thrown into shafts, they're completely demoralized. There's only one thought that keeps them going, that soon it will be all over. Yep, Hussites are convinced that soon Jesus Christ is gonna make a big comeback and show those corrupt people that only them, the followers of the teachings of Jan Hus, are gonna get the tickets to the first class to heaven. No indulgences needed.
Hussites radicalized and started to gather on the holy mountains, or better say any mountains, and one of them is now here. Tabor.
Hussite preachers are reassuring their people that soon their sufferings are gonna be over. And for these 4 days, they're all awaiting the apocalypse in a hysterical trance. And then nothing happens. Dude, we're still alive. Yeah, that sucks. But then one of them said, screw the apocalypse, we'll make it happen ourselves. We will clean this world from the corrupt capitalists, Catholics. And that is how Hussites became badass warriors and decided to build a town where they would survive the apocalypse.
Tabor was supposed to be an exemplary town of the future Hussite Republic.
This is where Hussites were testing their beta version of socialism, later called Christian communism, and their methods of convincing villagers to join them were working. Don't want to live with us? You have 2 weeks up until we set your house on fire. Pretty straightforward.
Everyone who joined Tabor had to give up their wealth by donating it to the common treasury. People who lived here, Taborites, called each other brothers and sisters.
Damn, it really sounds like Taborites walked so Bolsheviks could run.
Anyway, not everyone was keen on sharing, and archaeologists have found many treasures under the old houses that were hidden by the Taborites. This utopian Tabor existed for only around 30 years, and then it all went to good old feudalism again. And thank goodness, otherwise no one would have any money to build the tallest church tower on the south of Bohemia. We climbed to the top, and it wasn't easy. Where a watchman used to live. Now there is a numismatic and philatelists hotspot. And a great view. Let's go downstairs though to see the town hall. By the way, it is one of the must-sees in Tabor, because it has the Museum of Hussites inside. You can try on some medieval outfits and learn how Hussites changed the warfare forever. You can also go to the Gothic Hall and check out the statue of Jan Žižka. It seems right that the Hussite capital has the statue of Jan Žižka on the main square, their biggest military commander. Even after losing one eye, Žižka was able to see what his enemy's next move was and did not lose a single battle.
Alright, let's actually see how you can survive the apocalypse in Tabor.
It is amazing how much Hussites achieved in their military campaigns without proper training, Pope's money, and without the skills of stonemasons. Look at these defense walls. Tabor was the most perfect fortress in the Central and Western Europe of 15th century, and it is a mystery whose genius mind is responsible for its creation.
During the Hussite Wars, Albrecht II was trying to breach these walls for 6 months and eventually gave up. But even afterwards, they gave a run for their money to the Spanish general Baltasar Mardas, who was trying to siege Tabor during 30 Years' War and succeeded, but only after 1 year. That is some extraordinary patience. for Spanish men.
I can picture Taborites looking at Balthazar and saying, haha, loser. Some of the bastions are still standing in Tabor, and this one was changed into an ordinary apartments. Kotnov Tower is part of the medieval fortification of Tabor and Bihini Gate. It is one of the oldest structures in Tabor, and we recommend it for the view of the city, when it's opened, of course. Okay, 1 point for defense walls, Tabor. You can take the steps down from Kotnov for a short nature walk. We've accidentally recorded this man breaking his bicycle. He said very loudly. Now enjoy cheesy shots of Valerie walking through an autumnal park. Also, we found this blue door in the wall. Anyone who lives in Tabor or knows what it is, please let us know in the comments. What about water supplies? You probably noticed that there's no river that goes through the city of Tabor. Well, Water Reservoir Jordan, named after Jordan River, of course, has got this one covered as well. The water tower used to pump the drinking water from Jordan to the fountains in town. Another point for Tabor. Drinking water is important because you will need it to make coffee. We liked this coffee place called Budik, after an alarm clock. And another one closer to the main train station. Tabor receives another point for good restaurants. I mean, the reviews were terrible, but the food was okay. The Indian restaurant is the top one in town and the food was amazing. And if you're worried that you might get bored in Tabor during the apocalypse, that won't be an issue. There's so many narrow streets and passages you can explore. Well, Tabor streets are a maze that was created by Hussites on purpose in case the enemy breaches the walls. It used to be even more complicated, but even today Tabor deserves a point for that.
And finally, if Hussite preachers were correct, and the apocalypse will come very soon, where do you actually hide? Well, Tabor has a perfect solution for us: the underground passages.
This labyrinth of passages was built in 15th and 16th century. It has 3 floors and the last one is located 16 meters below the street level. I know you might be thinking how far-sightedly these passages can be used as bunkers, but Hussites actually built them to store their food in there. Yep, this is 14 kilometers of fridges. Nowadays only 650 meters of them are accessible, but you can still see where people used to store their food, keep their animals, and even women who gossiped and talked too much. I would be here permanently. You can visit the underground passages on a tour, and they will make you to wear a safety helmet if you are taller than me. I didn't need it, clearly.
Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed visiting Tabor. We definitely recommend staying here for longer than 1 day. We liked our hotel, so we're gonna put all the information about it here. And if you're planning to visit the Museum of Hussites as well as the underground passages, don't come here on Monday because the museum is closed. All right, thank you again and see you next week. Bye. Now Václav is gonna kill me because I was a pain in the ass.